Now I genuinely don't know where to start with this box, there are so many wonderful things going on. Have you ever tried plant mystery boxes? I've got 2 plant cutting mystery boxes here, so I'm going to open it up and we'll see what's in the box together. If you can, stay tuned and help me. I'm sure everything will be labelled, but just in case it's not, I might need your help with identifying some of the cuttings too, potentially. So let's open it up and see what's in there. And just a quick note, it didn't come with this tear on the box, this is just where I've removed my address label. All of the cuttings come individually wrapped and they come with these wonderful hand stamped tags which have the name of the cutting and some care instructions for each one, so I'll show you those a little bit closer. So I was only expecting about 4 or 5 cuttings in a box, but that first box had 8 cuttings, so there's a few to go through. At first glance, it looks like there's a few really impressive cuttings in there too, and lots of different sizes too, so we've got some quite big ones and some little ones. And as I said about the tags, really wonderful personalised touch with these hand stamped tags, and then inside it's got the name and some care instructions for each one. So let's open them up, and we'll start with one that I think is really impressive. This one is a Monstera obliqua Lichtlinii. So with this first one, the Monstera obliqua Lichtlinii, this one looks like it's got a wonderful healthy leaf, very deep green. It looks like it's almost maybe a new leaf, and a really healthy piece of stem as well with a node on it. So I'll get that in some water and we can start to propagate this. And the second one is one of my favourites, so although I already have it in the collection, I don't mind having another one. This is the Monstera carstenian in Peru, or Epipremnum marble planet, depending on which name you use, and it has these wonderful deep green leaves, very tropical looking, with an almost golden sheen under that green. And this has got a nice healthy piece of stem as well, with multiple possibilities of where that could propagate from. So we'll get that in some water with the obliqua. So this third one is the one that was the tallest in the selection, and this one is a really healthy cutting. This one's got 3 really good leaves on it, a new leaf on the way, and a really healthy piece of stem with lots of potential for developing roots. So this one is an Epipremnum pinnatum skeleton key. So I do already have one which is actually to the left of me. I'm not sure if you can quite see the leaves in the shot, just to the left, but again, a wonderful plant to have, so don't mind having another, because it has such unique leaves that almost look a little bit like hands, or maybe skeleton keys, as the name suggests, just to bring that a little bit closer so you can see just how healthy that cutting is with that new leaf on the way. So from big to small, and this one is the smallest one that was in the box. This is a Hoya australis Lisa, and I don't actually have any Hoyas in the collection, so this one is new to the collection, which is great, and it's got these wonderful bright leaves with the dark green band around the outside and then the light green to cream variegation in the middle. I will just need to double check how best to propagate this, whether to do this in water or in soil. If you know, please drop it in the comments below. I couldn't be more impressed with this next one. This one is actually an established plant, it's not even a cut-in, or maybe it's been taken as a cut-in but then rooted and sent in the cut-in box. As you can see, it's been in soil, so it's got a really good set of roots on it, and it's pretty much a small established plant there, so really good bit of stem, loads of leaves on it, and this has been on my wish list for such a long time. I've just not got around to buying it or finding it for the right price. So this is the Philodendron Paradiso Verdi, so another new one to the collection and one ticked off the wish list. So just bring it a little bit closer. I'm not quite sure what the colour of the leaves, whether it's green leaves with white variegation or white leaves with green variegation. It looks almost like it's white with lots of green splatters of variegation across them. And as you can see, there's loads of leaves on there. So a really healthy established plant, I would say, that I just need to pot up. So no propagation needed from me for this one. So if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I really like philodendrons, and this is another new one to the collection and one that I'd not heard of before. So this is a Philodendron mandaeumum, if I've said that right, and this one has got this wonderful deep green leaf with a red outline on it and this sort of deep red or burgundy stem. Really good piece of stem on there again, a couple of points on there where it could possibly develop roots. So just like the first ones, I'll get that in some water with those. So I've gone from having no Hoyas to having at least 2 from this selection. This is a Hoya linearis, and as you can see, this one is a huge cutting, and it's got 4 stems coming off this main piece of stem here. So I will see how I go about propagating this, whether it's in water or soil. Again, just like the other Hoya, if you've got any tips for propagating Hoyas, let me know, but I will also check the care instructions that have been provided in the box too. So we've still got the second box to do. All of these were just from the first box, and this last one from the first box is this incredibly healthy Philodendron melanochrysum cutting. This one has got stunning leaves. I'm just going to bring it closer so you can appreciate how wonderful those leaves are. So 2 large ones, and there's a little one in the middle, and it looks like it's come from a top cutting or end of stem cutting with some stickers or aerial roots there, and there's a really good bit of stem where it could develop roots, a couple of points on there. So I've got high hopes for this one once I put it in some water with the rest of the others. So 8 fantastic cuttings from the first box, but now I'm going to open the second one and see what's in there. So I bought 2 premium plant cutting boxes, but the shop was also selling some Halloween themed ones, which just looked really fun and fantastic, and I commented to the seller one was messaging about the order how much I like the look of the other ones. So even though I've bought the premium cutting box, they've actually designed or packaged this one as if it was the Halloween one, so that's a really wonderful personal touch. And I'm just going to bring this a little bit closer, the personal note, as you can see how Halloweeny that is. So I'm going to open this up and we'll see what treats, or maybe even tricks, are in this box. Now I genuinely don't know where to start with this box. There are loads of wonderful things going on here, as you can see, and it's not just cuttings that I was expecting. There are lots of other little tricks or treats in there, as the name suggests, and I actually feel a bit like a big kid. I just want to open them up and see what's in there. So I can see we've got the cuttings as I was expecting. There are some other little packages there. It looks like they're growable, as there's some care instructions on there. There's a little gift envelope. There looks like there's some stickers up there, and then even candy and sweets mixed in. So a real proper trick or treat box. So let's open it up and see what surprises are in there. So for the first plant cutting, look how black and glossy those leaves are. This is a ZZ Raven, or Zamioculcas samifolia Raven, and I'm not sure if all of the plant cuttings are going to be Halloween themed, but this is really fitting for the theme. And this is actually 4 separate cuttings, so this is a leaf with a bit of stem attached to it. So actually all 4 of these have the potential to root, so that's fantastic value there. So potentially 4 ZZ Raven plants from those cuttings. So let's try one of the envelopes next, and this one says bright indirect light, water when the surface is dry. So I'm expecting this to be something that you grow, and it sounds like seeds and feels like seeds. So if I just open that envelope and see, there's a little card inside that says Oxalis triangularis. So it looks like they are Oxalis triangularis bulbs. And if I show you that on the camera, they are some really good size bulbs on there without tipping them everywhere. Some really good sized bulbs in there, so I will wait until spring and then plant those up. I do already have some of these, but they are wonderful plants, so really pleased to add those to the collection. So on to the non-planty things. This next one I did mention when I opened the box. These are some really cute ghost stickers, so I'll have to find something to stick these on in time for Halloween. And on to the next plant. So this one is a new one to the collection, one that I've not even heard of before. It looks a bit like a Dracena, but the leaves are completely different. They're almost waxy and thicker. So this one is a Murdania luriformis. So I'm guessing they are all Halloween themed. Murdania luriformis. And it looks a little bit, as I said, like a Dracena or a bamboo, even with the stem. So I'm intrigued to see how this develops once it is propagated. So I've got another little package. It's not a cut-in, but it is plant related, as it does have some similar care instructions to the Oxalis triangularis. I'm just going to open this up and see what's in there. So these are crocus bulbs, Crocus sativus. Again, if you've got any tips for crocus, let me know, put them in the comments below. But excited to see how these develop too in the spring. So on to the next non-planty thing. Look how wonderful these are packaged. So I'm just going to slide this off rather than disturb the bow, and then open the envelope and see what's inside. So this one looks like it is a little book of... Oh, it's a notebook, so it's a blank book. It's got a little pumpkin on the front of it. It looks like it's handmade, a really cute little notebook, and then all of the blank pages. So a little bit of stationery in the box, as well as all of the plant related things. So this next one is an established plant again, or maybe it was from a cut-in, but it's got some roots developed on the end of it, so it just needs potting up. This one is completely new to the collection, again another one that I've not heard of before. This is a Senecio sapelliformis. It looks a bit like a Sansevieria cylindrica, but slightly different structure, and it's got some little spines on it as well, so that's maybe where it comes into the Halloween theme, because it looks a bit formidable and sharp and spiky. So this will be really interesting to see how it develops, and it'll be quite striking if it does develop more of these long pointed stems. So on to the last growable item. Again, similar care instructions on the front. And inside there is a card that says Narcissus Avalanche. So there's a single large bulb in there. I can actually take that out and show you a very large bulb there. So I'll plant this up again so we can grow this in the spring along with the other bulbs or corms that we've received. So I've actually changed the order slightly and gone back to a plant, as then we've got the last gift item and then a plant to finish with. So this one is perfectly named for Halloween. This is the Ripsalis horrida. So it looks a bit like a cacti, a candelabra cacti, in a much, much smaller form. Although it isn't spiky, it's actually quite soft. So this, again, another new one to the collection. I didn't have a Ripsalis before. So now let's find out what's in the black envelope. It looks very official. So again, I'm going to slide off the bow so we can open it up and see what's in there. So this is another treat. This is actually a luxury bar of chocolate, dark chocolate with raspberries in it. So I guess that fits the theme with the dark and the red. this is a really decent brand of chocolate as well, so very nice treat to have in the box. So this has worked out really well. The final plant in that box is probably the star of the box, I think, as this is another established plant, or maybe it was grown from a cut-in, but as you can see, it's got an established root ball, and it looks like a small established plant anyway, so it doesn't require any propagation effort, just needs potting up. This is a philodendron pink princess marble. You can see those wonderful dark leaves with the pink marbling across them, and as you can see, it's an established plant, lots of new leaves around the base of the plant and coming up from the centre of the stem. Now, just to give an idea of the value of the boxes, I paid less than £25 for each of the boxes, and I've received 13 plants in total, including 2 established plants, the philodendron pink princess and the paradiso verde, and I've also received the 11 other cut-ins, and included in some of those we've got the 2 Hoyas, the ZZ Raven, the Milano Chrysum, and even an obliqua. And then I've also had the different stationery items, the corms and bulbs in the second box, as well as the other little treats with the candy or sweets. So I think that's tremendous value for those boxes. I would pay around £50, £40 to £50 for an established Paradiso Verde. So to get this included in the box along with everything else, I think it's really good value. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think it was good value? Are there any favourites that you've got from the selection of things from the boxes? And also, if you've got any tips for propagating Hoyas, they are new to the collection, so I'm not sure whether to use water or soil. Let me know in the comments below, as your tips are much appreciated. If you have found this video useful, then consider subscribing. I have new videos, plant-related videos, every week, usually on a Sunday or Monday. There are lots of other videos on the channel, including plant unboxings, and you can see the previous plants that I've received from Propit Plants in some of the previous videos too. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll respond to everyone. And as always, thank you for watching Grow Your Wellbeing.